Good day, viewers. Today is the 1st of February 2023. Um, Everything in my country called Nigeria. I live in a country called Nigeria. And everything in Nigeria today, as of today, even for the past 3, 4, 5 days, even like a week or 2 weeks ago, everything has been red and squeezed and rough, like the shirt I'm putting on. And what are the factors that make everything red in Nigeria? It's quite simple. Just the way our politicians or policy makers have made our life unlivable. They have strangulated us to the extent that we could hardly survive. Take for instance, for the past weeks, around last year, okay, let me start from the beginning. Late last year, the CPN governor, Godwin Emefiele, came out with this narrative and came out with this policy that states that they are going to change some of our top currency in terms of interface, the outlook. They want to reprint they want to reprint this currency in a way that is quite different from the one we were using before. We thought it was a joke. So the narrative in the atmosphere in every media domain then was, what was the cause? Why is it trying to change the currency? What happened? Where, you know, nobody could figure anything out. Like in the past, it has been a normal trend whereby a policymaker just comes out and make any policy, irrespective of uh, the cause and effect. I don't even know whether these people sit down at all to even think of how this policy will affect the people they have sworn to protect, to govern, and to make life easy for. So recently, this is year 2003, and like I said before, this is February 1st. But I can guarantee you for the past 2 weeks, it has been hell for every Nigerians, especially the ones that they call the low class, the medium class, perhaps. Most of the people who live in abject poverty, or people who live from hand to mouth, or people who quietly survived. It has been difficult enough, as if it's not enough, difficult in Nigeria not to be able to secure a good job, not to be able to do business in a friendly environment, not to be able to survive. But they have impounded and strangulated us the more by even making it very impossible for us to lay our hands on the official legal tender that we were supposed to use to exchange for goods and commodities. So this morning, uh, this is around, okay, we are almost at noon, this is almost few minutes to 12. I want to share with you some videos that have been circulating the internet, about how Nigerians have been reduced to. In the video, I'm sorry, you might not really hear anything because most of the voices are muffled, and but the truth is just that you're going to see how Nigerians are suffering and what they have been going through. Like yesterday, I think it started about like 2 weeks ago when my wife went to the bank and she could not get cash. Most of them, I live in Lagos, and in the community where I live in Lagos is called Ikorodu, and most of the banks at Ikorodu, I don't know whether they are holding this note, new naira note that the CBN claimed to have printed in surplus or in large quantity. But one thing we know was that they have not been it has been difficult to even get to lay our hands on the new notes, because most of the machines that were supposed to be dispensing this cash are are not working. Some are not dispensing anything, and it happens like that 2 weeks ago. So last week it was almost the same thing. Then this week, I think yesterday, my wife was in the bank again, and she told me that previously they told her that some of the machine dispensed few days ago, which was should be maybe on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Today is Wednesday. Um, I think it was on Monday. We were told that they were dispensing 100 naira, 50 naira note and stuff. Even at that, if we can lay our hands on all these notes, it will have made sense. It will have been more beautiful. But unfortunately, we've not been able to lay our hands on them. We've not been able to get cash. I've worked in my area here. When I was strolling around yesterday, I asked people who are doing businesses and I asked them how they have been surviving. Even most of the POS people have not been able to you know have not been able to get cash. So I just want Nigerians to watch some of the video to highlight few of the uh, uh, woes that are before us in terms of having bad policy makers who doesn't think of any other thing than just to milk our country dry and then put us in jeopardy. So we'll come back after the video, then I will now give my last verdict or what I think of the whole charade of the whole scenario. So I'll be back.
46, 47, 48, 48. Where's 48? 49,
Madam, you go right. You go right. Hey, where were you today? Where were you?
So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video I just shared with you. But for those who does not understand Yoruba, who doesn't speak Yoruba language, I'm sorry for all my Igbo brothers, my Hausa brothers, every other tribe, Shekiri, Calabar and stuff who might be watching this video. I want to make some prayer and some assertion, some prophecy into the life of all our policymakers, and I would like to do that in Yoruba. So if you do not understand Yoruba, I'm sorry, just bear with me. And for those who understand, perhaps you can let me translate it to your people who might not understood. It's just prayer, so as for them to have sense. Uh, and I will probably, I think I would like to play to pray in my dialect, so that at least maybe this will be able to solve our problem. Uh, ẹ má bínú ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ bá gbọ́ èdè tí mò ń sọ. Mo kàn fẹ́ sọ ni pé ní agbára ohun tó wù kó dá ilé ayé àti ohun tó bá dá ohun gbogbo àtọ̀run, ń ṣe Ifá ni, ń ṣe Ọlọ́run ni, anything tí ò bá wù kó dá gbogbo nǹkan, lágbára nǹkan náà àti lágbára àwọn onílẹ̀, àwọn tó tẹ̀lé ayé dó àtàwọn tó ti wá síwájú wa, bí ògo ti ń jẹ́ ti Sáàtì lókè bí àwọn kan ṣe máa ń sọ, ayé àwọn ìjọba wo ò ní rójú tù, kò ní rójú. Gbogbo ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá wà nídìí ìjọba tó ń ba ìjọba jẹ́, ayé wọn ò ní rójú, ojú àti ààyè wọn ò ní rí. Bí wọ́n ṣe da ìbànújẹ́ sínú ilé ayé àwọn èèyàn, táyé àwọn èèyàn di rúdurùdu, tó di pé ogun àti ìnira àti ìrora làwọn èèyàn fi ń gbélé ayé, torí tí wọ́n dà sí wa lágbádá, àtàwọn tó kówó tán fi yẹ kán fi ṣe títì ṣe, tán kówó tó yẹ kán fi ṣe títì jẹ, àwọn tó kówó tó yẹ kán fi dá ilé ìwòsàn sílẹ̀ tán kó jẹ, àtàwọn tí wọ́n jókòó tán sọ pé àwọn làwọn ní agbára láti ṣèjọba lé àwọn èèyàn lórí. Bí ayé àwọn èèyàn ṣe ń lọ lójoojúmọ́ pẹ̀lú ìnira làwọn náà máa fi lo ìgbẹ̀yìn ilé ayé wọn. Wọ́n máa sánkú mọ́lọ́run lójú, tọmọtọmọ tayátayá, ìnira wọ́n máa bá ìnira kiri ni. Gbogbo ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá ti fi ìnira sí wa lára tí ò jẹ́ ká rójú ráyè, ọmọ rí igbá kì í rídìí jókòó, báyé wọn ò ṣe ní ojútùú nìyẹn. Bíjì bá dà, ó máa ń dominú àgbọn nù ni. Gbogbo ohun tó bá dá nílé ayé wọn, ìgbẹ̀yìn ilé ayé wọn, ní ọjọ́ alẹ́ wọn, ìkorò àtẹkún ni wọ́n á fi lò. Can somebody shout hallelujah? Can somebody say amen? So I'm back now. Everything I said, every prayer that I haul out on all our policy makers who have made life so beautifully unbearable for us, I pray that my prayer will come to pass in their life. So right now I'm done concerning what I want to say about this whole issue. I believe 2023 is a make or break point for Nigeria as a whole, as a nation. And I believe anybody who is a Nigerian by now will have understand that no politician, absolutely, really, is there any politician, really, is there any politician who meant good for anyone in this country? Some of them have been governors before. Most of the people who wants to run out, all those frontliners, apart from a bit of Showore, who has not probably held any political office before in the country. Mr. Emilokan have once been governor twice. Mr. Etiku have been governors before and the same time vice president for 8 years, twice. And Mr. Peter Obi too, the same thing. Though a lot of people still will say that, okay, if we are to choose a devil, let us choose at least a fairly used devil, not a completely doomed devil. But maybe that's why they are pitching their vote for former governor Peter Obi. But in my own view, I believe that every everyone that we have the privilege to elect, if we do not elect the right set of people, the same result is going to befall us, or might even be worse in the future. Could be worse in the future. We don't know. So I will just urge us all to make sure that if we have gotten our PVC, which is the first thing to do, we should use it right on the 25th of February this month. We still have 24 days to go before the election. And sometimes maybe it's right time for Nigerians to start demanding brain check for most of our policymakers. And it cuts across board, like I said earlier. It's not all about Emefiele alone. I remember in 2020, 2012, if I'm not mistaken, 2012 or 2013, I think it was 2012, when the former president of Nigeria, when the administration just announced increment in fuel price that led to people going to Freedom Park, complaining, agitating, and then protesting throughout that tenure. I think it lasted for almost 2 weeks before former President Goodluck Jonathan sent his dogs to come and chase the dogs who are army soldiers of the country who sworn to protect the life and properties of the same, you know, people. They were sent to them to go and disrupt. Some were injured, some were shot, some were tear gassed. It has always been the norms for the Nigerian state to bully, to underrate the voice of their people, of its people, to bully its people. It's like a norm to them. And eventually we heard later that it wasn't even the president who made such assertion. I think it was the former Minister of Petroleum then, Alison Madueke Dezani, who just woke up one day and felt like, okay, fuel price should be increased. But, as the president sitting, maybe he was prepped before then, or maybe he just have to support his minister. Only God knows what happened. I just know Nigerians are the one at the receiving end. So when it comes to dealing with policymakers, sometimes I don't know whether it's just outright wickedness or people just chose to be mean. But whatever reason it might be, I just believe that Nigerians have to do better this time around. So this video is not just to talk much. The essence of making this video is to show us the recent thing that is going on, even as at today, the 1st of February 2023, which is like 24 days to the next presidential election. Although one of the presidential aspirants came out to say everything is targeted towards him, which I believe is a lie. It was all politics. They could have deliberately just do this at this time in order to earn sympathy or empathy for the so-called APC presidential candidate. But whatever their policy or whatever their reason is, I know one thing. Emefiele and his children or his family, his wife or girlfriends or whoever he have in his life, they are not suffering of cash. And all those top rich people are not suffering of cash. And the president and the governors, even the aspirants that are being championed at this time, are not suffering of cash. It is the people who are the middle class, the middle class, the less privileged, the one living in abject poverty, the one living in penury. They are the one who are being ridiculed, who are being taunted, and they have been turned against each other. They've turned them to an animal. They've not just weaponized poverty or lack of education. They have weaponized need and policy in order to treat us as if we are zombies, to dictate to us anyhow. And a whole lot of rot have been happening. My wife was in the bank yesterday and she told me the whole rot that happens in the bank. People who were fighting, some of the video which you just watched. And she even said of a scenario at Zenith Bank Ikorodu here. At first she went to First Bank wearing dispensing. And later I think they put some few cash in the machine, dispense for some, maybe for some minutes, and then after the money was exhausted, they said that's it for the day. So you have to come back the second day. A lot of people have been spending money for transportation, money they do not even have in the first place. And a lot of shenanigans have been happening, like Nigerians now. It's just not just Nigerians, just human being, to be honest. A lot of what they call the POS agents, they have come out to start embezzling and taking advantage of the situation. And why wouldn't they? So we withdraw some money. We managed to withdraw some money yesterday. Apparently, it happens that from every POS in my area here in Ikorodu, and I have heard the same story from other areas too within Lagos, even outside Lagos. So all of the POS agents were collecting 10% of whatever you want to withdraw. So take for instance, if you want to withdraw 100,000 naira now, they will charge you 10,000 naira. That's how bad it was. And when you ask, some of them are still even dispensing old note. Oh. So the banks, apparently from what I heard, the banks that doesn't have new notes yet, or that doesn't want to give out new notes, that same old note that they were taking back, they were selling it back to the agents who are doing POS, who are into POS business. They were selling those old notes back to them. So when those one comes out, because we know, we are a cash society, we are not yet cashless, so to speak. So a lot of people still need cash. So when you go to any POS, even at the expense of getting the old notes from them, they are still going to charge you so much voluminous percentage just for you to get money. Sometimes 10% or a little bit less. In some cases, I believe some people will even do more than that 10%. So it got to a time, even at Zenith Bank in Ikorodu here, the one at Ikorodu garage here, where you go there using another bank's card, you can only withdraw 1,000 naira, and you will be charged 35 naira for withdrawing 1,000. That's the only money you can withdraw at a go that the machine can dispense to you. If they have programmed their ATM machines to be like that. But for anyone using Zenith Bank, you can do maybe 10 or 20, depending on whatever the machine is programmed to dispense. At First Bank, it was almost like 5,000 naira for other people who are not using First Bank. If you come with maybe GT Bank ATM card to use on First Bank ATM machine, you can only get 5,000 naira and you deduct 35 naira. So if you choose to probably get 20,000, that means you're going to pay 35 naira in 4 places. People can still cope with that. That's still like a little bit better. But there's nothing better, because in Nigeria, we are just always looking at which one is a lesser evil. And then we stand by lesser evil. People are supposed to be able to dispense cash from any of our bank, especially if they are commercial banks, under the Apex bank called CBN. So I don't know where all this policy came from. And the new notes too, they are being sold to other people. They sell it for high price. So even if you have a POS officer or official or POS agent doing his or her business, the moment he or she wants to give you the new note, the kind of percentage they will be calling, you have to run. But you'll be so surprised to see. I'm going to finish this video by playing another video for you. You will see most of our celebrities in parties at the expense of all the people in the public. They no send us, so to be honest, it's not their fault. It's the fault of the policymaker, the fault of the institution that have failed woefully. If there is another word to describe the way Nigerian institutions have failed, I think woefully is even a sweet word to use. They have failed even far below woefully. If there's something to qualify their failure, it's more like an unlimited failure, unquantifiable failure. That you will see celebrities spending cash the way they used to waste money they do not have than the one they have, whatever. It's none of my business. They're spending money. You will see the likes of Tonto DK and others spending money in a party. The same currency that we are lacking, that the whole system is lacking, that people have been complaining. Just watch the video. I think I will end this video by just putting this video so you can watch. But please, for continuity and for encouragement, if you've not subscribed on this station, we're going to be discussing. This station does nothing. For now, I'm not doing any promo for anybody, but we're just going to be discussing the state of our nation, issues bothering us. Every other issues that are bothering us here and there are things that will bring to you. Sometimes I'll do interview with people. Sometimes I'll bring my wife or my partner so we can talk about issues that are bothering us. And majorly, most of my gigs here are going to be more of my own perspective, my own opinion about the issues bothering us. If I have my own value to give, I will give. If I have opinion to give, I will give. But I will never tell Nigerians to do what I will not do. So just watch this video. Please help subscribe on this station, help like, share, and comment. Your comment is highly appreciated. Whatever you think of everything I've said or the video you are about to watch or you've watched, please just put your comment at the comment section. It will be responded to if needed, but we will appreciate it. And thank you, and God bless you. Stay cool and stay responsible. So watch this video, and we'll see you later.
All my guys are ballers. All my girls are coming. All my guys are ballers. I know the girls are coming. It's your body, Nakila. And if I touch my felony, baby girl is a diva. And if I touch my felony, Wagwa, you don't know me. W-A-N-D-E. Cool, that's how I roll. For the girls, them I come to my show. Batman, you don't know me. W-A-N-D-E. Cool, that's how I roll. For the girls, them I come to my show. I don't want no enemy. I don't want no yawa. I just sip my energy. And all of them call the power out. They want tip my energy. And if they like me, they holler out. I'ma they go jam this one. While they go jam this one. Yeah. All my guys are ballers. All my girls are coming. All my guys are ballers. I know the girls are coming. It's your body, Nakila. And if I touch, I fell.